Hello, everybody. Well, there's a brand new newspaper for knitters and crocheters that's making quite a splash. And Susie and I have actually subscribed. So we're going to share our honest reflection on the newspaper, what we think of it. And also, of course, all of the regulars, our works in progress, our finished objects, if we have any, and anything else that comes across the table here. So grab your favorite project and something to drink and yarn over with us.
And I said, you have just made my day.
Well, hello there. We are so glad that you have tuned in today and are going to join us here for the next maybe hour or so. My name is Susie and I live in Huntsville, Alabama. And we are glad that you have sat down and joined our yarn circle. And I want to welcome everyone that's here now, but thank you if you're a new subscriber. We have loved seeing those numbers go up and seeing our yarn circle grow. So welcome and hope that you will enjoy today's episode.
And my name is Linda and I live in the Charlotte area. And yes, we are so thankful for all of you. It is just so fun to get to know you, have you interact, and we're so glad you're part of the Yarn Circle. If you haven't already, please go to our website, yarnoverwithus.com, and subscribe for the newsletter. Now, I promise we do not have the time to blow up your email with emails. We will not. You will probably get an alert when we have a new episode, and primarily that's really what we're going to use it for right now because we don't have anything else to tell you that we're not telling you here. But we also, if you want to be part of the Zoom, and many have actually responded when we first talked about it, check the box that talks about the yarn circle gatherings or whatever it is I don't even know what I called it, but you'll get the picture when you see it. So then when we do get the Zoom together, and we do need to do it soon, you will get notified so you can be part of it. So Susie, before we get into the newspaper, let's talk about what we're doing. What's up? What's going on? What you doing?
Well, I have, our last episode I talked about the crochet pot holders, and I have made more of those because I am doing these for Christmas and going to be making baskets. And so I have made more. I showed, of course, these last week. These are the little crocheted pot holders. And I've made this set.
Ooh.
And then I've made this set.
Oh my goodness, they do go fast.
They do. They are just wonderful. And the knitted ones that we talked about a few weeks ago, I love them too, but they're a little bit more flimsy. You know, the crochet stitch is more durable as far as the pot holder goes, and it's faster. So if you're doing these for like Christmas baskets and gifts, it's a much faster project to fix versus doing the knitted ones. And I love the knitted ones, but these crochet ones have really gone fast.
Wow. Yes, speed is good.
Yeah, and I love this little seam here, and I love the little hanger, you know, because they can hang in the kitchen. And I had mentioned last episode that this was the Susie version, but then I thought maybe I better do a little bit of research and see if there really is a pattern that's like this. And I did find one. It's called the Magic Pot Holder. It's on Ravelry, and it's a free download, so it's free.
Awesome.
They tell you to do different, I can talk about the pattern because it's free, right?
Oh, you could talk about it anyway. Yeah.
Well, the chain that you make, I think they do like 30, and then you do 35, and then I think you can do 40. And my cast on for these is actually 33 stitches, and it gives about a 6.5 inch across pot holder. And I've cast on another one, and I'm gonna do 35 stitches, and I think that'll take it to 7 inches, which will make it just a little bit bigger, which I think actually will probably be a better size for a pot holder, because you want to make sure you got enough cloths to make sure you're not touching whatever you're pulling out of the oven or whatever's hot.
Sure.
But these also make good little hot plates, like to set a dish on your table and things
That's
like
what I
that.
use them
So,
for. Yeah, I use them for
yeah,
that.
and the seam though really causes you to be able to fold it easy. That seam on the top,
Okay.
it folds. It holds in your hand really good with this
I
little
see.
seam through
Mm-hmm.
here. And
Okay.
so the pattern, I noticed the way she tells you to seam it together, you're going under the two V's, which create the little chain stitch on each side. You go under both legs on each side. And instead of making it stay flat, you will pull it a little bit. And for my pattern, I don't remember what chain or hook it tells you to use, but I'm using the 5mm, the US H8
Mm-hmm.
5mm crochet hook. And I'm doing about from the time you do your chain to closing up that pot holder is about 21 to 22 rounds,
Okay.
depending on what your gauge is. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful gift. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
and you've got
are.
plenty of time. My baskets will have these and knitted dishcloths and some towels that we talked about. And you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to add in the gluten-free brownie mix from our shopping club. I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
add that in the basket, and then
Yeah.
our dish liquid from our shopping club, and then I'm going to add the pot holders, the dishcloths, and the drying cloths from the kitchen. And it's going to make a beautiful basket. And so anyway, yeah, so I've worked on those. And then I made a sock.
Did
I
you?
did. I've been doing sock knitting.
Oh, those are beautiful. Those are so my colors. Oh, I love
I
that
know.
cuff.
Look at the
Oh,
cuff.
that's a pretty cuff. I like it.
And these socks are called
Okay.
Graceland socks. And of course, they're a shorty sock or an ankle. They're kind of an ankle sock.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That is
did just
so pretty.
the only thing I followed that pattern for was this cuff. You know what? I think I did follow the heel flapping gusset pattern, but then when I got down here, I just did that rounded toe that I
Right.
enjoy so much. That's a
Right.
Nancy Wheeler toe. And so,
What
yeah, these
yarn
are my
is
socks.
that?
It comes from a homespun house. And I did her yearly, monthly yarn or sock club for a full year, and
Right?
this was one of the month sock club that you got, and it's fingering weight. It's a fingering weight,
That's so pretty.
and these were the colors. So yeah,
Love
these
it.
I was really pleased with these. I'm enjoying wearing my socks. I have a pair on today. I
Did you?
love. I'm
Well,
loving
fall is
wearing my
coming. I
socks.
mean, it's so crazy. Summer,
Yeah.
our weather has been so crazy that we had really 1 month of really hot weather, and that was July,
Yeah.
and it was like the desert. I mean, it was like 1 degree from hell. It was horrible. And then at the end of July, it started to taper off, and then August came, and we've had really September weather. So
Yeah.
you're going to be wearing your socks very soon.
Yeah. But I mainly just wear them at home around the house, but I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy them, and they really do keep your feet really nice and warm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference
Yeah.
between polyester or cotton and wool. Wool just makes your feet feel so cozy. So I'm loving them, loving wearing my socks. What you been doing?
Literally seconds ago, I just got this off the needles. This is my second
Second
ranunculus.
ranunculus. It looks
And
beautiful.
and I've done the same thing as I did last time, as far as, which I'll discuss it more later. So it's off. Did a nice stretchy bind off for my nice hips. And so now I get to put the sleeves on. Now this is going to be, that's actually the back. This is going to be a long sleeve. I think. Um, it's only supposed to be DK weight, but it feels really like it's worsted weight. I
It's
don't know.
like a heavy DK.
I think it is, which isn't a problem. It's just that then I'm wondering if I maybe want to do like a 3/4 inch sleeve
Mm-hmm.
instead of a long sleeve. I don't know.
I
Um,
like 3/4 length sleeves.
well, I do too. And I definitely, well, that would be half sleeve. 3/4 I love because when we do
Yeah,
dishes and whatnot, we're always pushing them up
yeah, we're
anyway.
always pushing them up anyway.
So I don't know. I'm just gonna get started and see what I think about it. But anyway, the colors. I gotta show you again the colors.
Yeah, the
Danny
colors are
asked.
beautiful.
I mean, there's all the colors. And Danny asked. He's like, "Do you think you have enough left to make me a sweater?" I said, "I don't think so, but I might, but I don't think so."
He's really wanting you to knit him something.
Well, and
Uh,
it's funny because honestly, I don't know how often he'd even wear it. I mean, it's not
yeah.
that cold, and I don't think he'd really wear it, but I think he just wants something cozy. So, yeah.
Oh, my husband would just
And
be thrilled if I'd make him some socks. He'd see in the socks, it's like, when are you gonna make me some socks?
yeah, I
I
think he
need
would
to
like some
cast on a pair of
socks.
socks for
I
him.
know. And then, oh, well, I'll show that in a minute. I finished my fall garland, but I have to pop up the picture. And I'm still working on my beautiful
I love that.
Jenny's fern. And I have to tell you, I am really, really, really like making this because literally every stripe comes a new color. And it's just, you just never really know what's going to pop up. I mean, it's starting to repeat the colors, but you don't know really. I mean, because it's so mixed up, you really
Mm-hmm.
don't know what you're going to get. But I love the feel of this yarn. It's cotton and silk
Okay.
and a little,
And what was
polyester.
the
So
brand? What was the
that
brand of
is
that yarn?
it's the
The
Noro.
Noro. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I thought I remember it
And
being a
it's
Noro.
Oh, and it smells so good because I have my good smelling stuff in here. I leave this bag in whatever project I'm working on
Yeah.
because so in love with
All
it.
those
And
cedar chips and
we had our local nitwits meeting, and we're trying to dissect it, and we're trying to figure it out because I want to make some. And my husband's like, just call her and ask her, what she uses. I said, well, she may not want to tell me. Not that I'm going to sell it anyway, but I want my whole house to smell like it, so I want like buckets of it. So, and we're cutting down a cedar tree, so I'll have some cedar. So I had that. So my fern. And then I finished my fall garland. I'm gonna pull that picture up.
yay.
Let's see.
I've got to make another garland for my
You
little
do?
fireplace at the salon. I want to do one there too.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's smaller, so I
definitely.
won't have to do as many leaves, but I'm gonna do that.
Definitely. That would be pretty. Um, okay, hold on one second. And there it is.
Oh,
As I was hanging them, the weight kind of stretched out my little string, my yarn. I was gonna actually braid it, and I still might, but I can of course hike it up. So, but it is a little on the light side. I think if I make them again, I do two things. Number one is I'd make the leaves a little thicker. So I had to actually reblock them and starch them because they were so the yarn was so soft and flexible that they just didn't really keep a nice shape.
was it fingering weight that you used for
Hmm.
that? Did you double it?
Mm-mm.
Because mine are doubled. I did double for mine.
Really?
Hmm.
Well,
I
yes,
doubled the
that's
fingering.
yes, and I could easily do that. I have tons of yarn left over.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I just sprayed them with ironing starch and just reblock them, and that kind of did the trick. But I think what I'd like to do next time is add some sparkle in there because they turn a little bit with the
Yeah.
airflow that's going on, and they twinkle because I like twinkles,
But
obviously.
real leaves, fall leaves curl. So I mean, they're not always straight. They curl.
True,
I have
true.
noticed them out on the ground
Yeah, I do.
specifically over the last couple of weeks. I've been looking at leaves, because I've been knitting leaves, and so a lot of the leaves on the ground are curled. They're not laying
Yeah,
straight. So
yeah.
I
But
think they
yeah,
look
so
beautiful.
I think I'd like to find some darker yarn. And actually, I don't think I'll have enough left over for my Noro. My Noro would make beautiful leaves, but I'd have
Yeah,
to
it
double it.
would.
So anyway, so yeah, so those are my 3 projects I'm still working on. Like I said, I should next, by the next time we get together, I should have my shawl done, and at least one sleeve. Usually I can just pound through this ranunculus, but I'm sharing with all these other projects. So I
Oh, I
share my
know.
time, and I really am being diligent to work on each of them. Of course, the leaves are done, so that can put that away, but work on each of them every day. Number one, so I don't forget where I am, and I know I've got the app and all that, but it's like a mental thing. You forget what's going on. You get out of
I know.
the flow of it. So I'm
It's
working on
so
both of them.
easy.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for my works in progress. I have nothing
I
finished, so.
I went to a yarn shop and did a little bit of shopping on Saturday. I had a $75 gift certificate there. And
Oh,
Nina, the owner of the shop, we were talking, and she said, "Yeah," she said, "your husband makes his annual trip into the yarn shop to get a gift certificate each year." And
oh,
see,
he's
he's
a
all,
wise man. He's a
he
wise
is.
man.
He is. And she said that when he went in there the last time, he said, she said, you can tell he feels so uncomfortable in here. And it's like he's walking into this place that he knows nothing about, but
Yeah,
he's coming
it's
in
a whole
here
new world.
he's coming in there to get his wife a gift certificate. And she said, yeah, she said when he came in here December, and see, this is the first time I've had a chance to go in there because her hours don't work for me. My days off
Right.
during the week, well, my one day is Monday, she's closed. And then her hours Tuesday through Friday are 11 to 4, I'm working. And then Saturday, she's 11 to 3, and I work most Saturdays. And so I got off a little early Saturday, so I thought I'm going to run over there real quick and see if I can use my $75 gift certificate. And she said, Susie, he asked me a question. He always says, he says, is $75 a good gift certificate? Is that a good amount?
She should say you really should double it
That's what I
next
told
time.
her. That's what I told her. I said, no, next time
Well,
when he asks you that, you need to tell him, I think that $150 would be better, and anything over that is up to you.
oh man.
I said, you tell him I want a $150 gift certificate. And so anyway, she had a trunk show going on in there that was beautiful, and it's actually a local yarn dyer in our area. She's in Madison, Alabama. And I have bought quite a few things from her because Nina is carrying this yarn dyer's yarn, and I picked out some beautiful, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it right now, but look at this yarn, Linda.
Ooh. It's not the paper crane, is it?
No, Paper Crane,
Okay.
she's in Birmingham or outside of, this is the
Oh.
Bird's Nest Stitchery.
Oh, that's
And
pretty.
this is
Like,
her card.
yeah. Mm.
Let's see if I
What are
can
you
get
gonna
it to
do with
focus.
that?
I don't know. I got 2 of this color and 2 of this color. So I got 4 hanks. And the colors that she had were just absolutely beautiful. And her website, if you want to check her out, is birdstitchery.com. And I'm sure you can go and see the different things that she has. But she does a beautiful job with color. This is actually merino, some nylon, and a little bit of stellina. So it's got a little bit of a of a shimmer to it. And this one's called First Winter Frost, which is just perfect. And then this one is called, oh, I can't even pronounce this. I don't even know what this is. I'm not going to tell you. It's blue.
It's
It's
blue.
called
It's
blue.
pretty blue. Yes.
But
It's
anyway, so
gorgeous.
I enjoyed
Very
going there and
pretty.
shopping and getting some new yarn. So I'm sure that there will be something being made with that beautiful yarn. I really have to stay out of the local yarn shop. It's probably good that her hours are not conducive to my schedule most of the time,
Yeah.
because when I go in there, I
Oh.
know I'm going to spend some money, but at least I had a gift certificate. And of course, I had to add to it. I needed that $150 gift certificate.
Oh, did you?
but
Yeah,
but
you probably
anyway,
got two skeins. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, how fun. Yeah, we I don't really have a yarn shop here that tortures me. So I just look forward to any events I go to where I can find yarn. So I'm
Oh
kind of
yeah.
I'm actually preparing a plan. I'm trying to prepare a plan because I don't want one-off yarns. I have enough souvenir yarns for now, but I have some things I want to make, and poor Danny is gonna have to wait. He's okay. He's like, no, work on it for next year. I'm like, oh good. Because really what I want to do is I want to knit a Christmas sweater, but it's going to be more of a top, not a long sleeve sweater. I find that, in the holidays, I'm cooking and my kitchen is actually the warmest room in the house because, well, obvious, the oven and whatnot, but even in the summer, it seems to be one of the warmer rooms. It's on the west
Yeah.
side. So yeah, so I get my inspirations from Knitter's Niche and Wine and Wool. They
Okay.
both they really are the kind of the go-to places that I, and of course everything Bobby makes is really pretty and I think would be worthy of what I call a Christmas sweater. So I want to have something special. So I'm going to have to start that as soon as I'm done with the ranunculus. So and I want to buy some yarn over at SAF when I go in October. Oh, then I can't start till October. Ooh, that's a problem. I think I need to. Oh boy. Okay, let's just. Oh, I'm gonna have to shop online. Oh well, I can do it. I can do it anyway. So
Well, you
those are
might
my
need to visit one of
plans.
those yarn shops that are in Charlotte. There, you've got some
Oh, that's
great.
right. We're doing the yarn crawl is in September.
Yeah,
Okay, but I don't even want to wait
yeah.
that long. Maybe I'll just go early. Yeah.
Just go early.
The one that we thought
You don't
that we
need a
liked so
reason to go to
much.
your local yarn
Oh,
shop.
I
You
know.
got a
I
lot
know.
of them. I'm jealous.
Well, yeah, we do. You know who I really wish would have a showroom is Expression Fiber Arts. I
I
really,
know.
I really like her dyeing, but I have to say I've bought a couple of things and I don't always like the twist of her yarn. And so I like seeing it. I know other people order this stuff online. I'm not
Yeah.
as good, not
And
for a big project.
She's right there in Charlotte. So
Charlotte, yeah, but she does not have a
yeah,
showroom, but she is all over everywhere else. So,
yeah, she
um,
is.
but yeah, I'm gonna have to go maybe next week. Well, I shouldn't say next week. I gotta finish my ranunculus, and then I will start my Christmas
Then you
sweater.
will
I gotta be
go.
disciplined. I gotta be disciplined. And I really would like to make another fall shawlette because they're just so perfect where the weather is changing and you can wear a t-shirt or a long sleeve
Yeah.
tee and you get that little weight on just a little weight on your back and around your neck. I love
Yeah.
them. I
And
think, yeah.
honestly, in our climate, it most often is my go-to thing. I just don't
Yeah.
wear a lot of
Well,
sweaters.
it's
I
my
just don't
jewelry.
wear
Well, and
them.
it's my jewelry. I
It
mean, now that
is.
I've
It's
got
like
those
your
little
jewelry.
buttons,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
really
your
have fun with
jewelry.
them. So, as we mentioned, we are going to be discussing the newspaper that has become very popular. It is called Knit Nation and Crochet Nation. And Susie got the crochet paper and I got the knit paper. So, we're going to just kind of share our thoughts about the paper with you so that you can just better decide whether it's something that you enjoy. So, Susie, go for the crochet.
Okay. So I have enjoyed getting them. I have received 4 episodes, and number 5 should be showing up any day. And of course, this is what the Crochet Nation paper looks like. And I'll be real honest, I have never been a newspaper reader. So this has been a new adventure for me. And every time that I get it, I'm thumbing through it, to just real quickly see what's there, but then it kind of ends up on the table. So what I did is I picked them up and I really went through them over the last few days because I knew that we were going to need to be talking about them. And so I'm just going to kind of go through and tell some things that every newspaper has, and then focus in on some things that I thought were really neat. So in the Crochet Nation, they always do like TV or show to watch recommendations, things to do while you are like knitting or while you're crocheting. They also give a book club pick, so a book that might be interesting to listen to or to read. And they also give a podcast pick. And all of these are kind of crochet related. So they have been in every one of my episodes so far, or my newspaper so far. They also have a section that's kind of fun. It's called Dear Grandma Angie. It's kind of like Dear Abby.
They have that. Yeah.
Do they have that in the knit one? And so it was fun to read some of those articles. And then they do a history of craft in some way, give a history of crochet. They also have a story, a fictional story that focuses on the craft, which is crochet, and the one that is like continuing each episode is called Stitches of Deception. And so you read a portion of that story each time that your newspaper arrives, and it just, so I don't know how long it's going to last, but so far we're in the same story. I've not read all of it, so I can't really tell you about that, but there is a continuing fictional story that you get to read in each episode or each newspaper. And then they have lots of games. They have the word search, which I absolutely love word search. They're my favorite in each of the magazines or the newspapers. And then they have word scrambles, they have fill in the blank puzzles, and then they have a crossword puzzle that is related to the newspaper. So when you read the newspaper, then you'll be able to do the crossword puzzle because it is based on that paper. So that happens every time. And then as I was looking through, they always give like new stitches to talk to you about, or they give patterns that the complete pattern is in the paper. And so a stitch that stood out to me that I zeroed in, it was actually called the Suzette stitch. And I think we have a picture of that.
Okay, let's add that. Hold on.
There it is.
Cute.
So this was the featured stitch of the month, and it's called the Suzette stitch. And so they showed how to crochet it in the paper. They gave ideas of what you can make with this particular stitch. They did troubleshooting and tips. And they also had final thoughts. And the final thoughts was the Suzette stitch is so simple yet so satisfying. It's one of those rare stitches that's beginner friendly but doesn't look basic, and making it a favorite. That's making it a favorite among crocheters of all skill levels. So that stood out to me. And each of the episodes or the papers will give features on different stitches and talk to you about how to make them, ways to use them. And I loved that this kind of was parallel with my name, so maybe that's why it stood out to me, the Suzette stitch. And then the other thing that stood out to me was a monkey pattern, and they do a lot of toy crocheting. There's a lot of patterns for crocheting toys. And so another pattern that stood out to me was this little monkey. And they did detailed instructions, pictures, illustrating what you're going to be doing, the complete pattern. And when I saw the little monkey, I just thought about my little granddaughters how that they would all love probably to have a little monkey. Can even make him in different colors or whatever, but that
Mm-hmm.
was a pattern that stood out to me. And then another thing that they do is they give history facts of the craft.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so one of the history facts that they talked about in one of the newspapers was, why didn't our great grandmothers crochet blankets? And I thought, okay, my great grandmother, and I really didn't know my great grandmothers on either side of my family. And so that really goes back. But what they said is, if you find antique crochet books that are prior to, like from the early 1900s, in those crochet books, you're going to find the doilies and the little decorative trims and like tablecloths and things like that. But they said you're not going to find really patterns for blankets in there. And the reason why is because weaving ruled the blanket world at that time. So before
Oh,
the
okay.
1930s, weaving was the dominant method of producing blankets because it was efficient. A skilled weaver could produce yards of fabric much faster than someone could painstakingly crochet it stitch by stitch. And of course, they didn't have stores to go buy warm blankets, and so they most often were making those. And to crochet a blanket, it would take time. But the other thing too is that it is a yarn hog. So if you did have the time,
Yeah,
then did you have the money to buy that yarn
sure.
because then, your yarns were wool or silk or cashmere, and it took time to make those. So they
Yeah.
just did not use fiber, like yarn fiber, to make blankets. And then the cost of the yarn was very expensive. So they made
Oh,
small little
yeah.
things. They would use the crochet, the small cotton threads to do things. The doilies and light garments were good for crocheting, but not to do the blankets, which wool was the preferred material because it was the warmest. But
Sure.
they couldn't get the yarn. And so what changed and what brought crochet into the front was that in the mid 20th century, everything began to shift. Yarn became more affordable as fiber production scaled up. Wool and cotton mills had already industrialized in the late 19th century, but the real game changer came after World War II, when synthetic fibers like acrylic hit the market. And by the 1950s and the 60s, yarn was not only cheaper, but it was also widely available in department stores and catalogs. And pattern books exploded in popularity. Home decor and trends embraced texture and color and handcrafted goods. And then crocheted clothing became a part of the hippie counterculture movement back in
Yeah.
the 60s.
Yeah.
And suddenly crochet wasn't just about delicate lace trims anymore. It was about vibrant textured clothing. And by the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, there was an avalanche then of the granny squares. And from there, it was the rippled, I remember the rippled blankets
Oh,
crocheted and the
yeah.
granny square
Mm-hmm.
blankets. And so finally, crochet really became to the forefront. And probably all of us have a crocheted blanket in our possession, that our grandmothers made. So our
Yeah.
great grandmothers were not really the ones that were doing all the crochet, and that kind of came in with our grandmothers. So I just thought that was a good little history blip. And all of the episodes, or all of the newspapers, I want to call it an episode, but all the issues have history clips in them. And so a lot of good things there. But I've struggled to really embrace this newspaper into my life. And I was thinking, how could I embrace it? Because my problem is that when you sit and read this and do the things in it, the puzzles and all of that, all I'm thinking is I need to be knitting or I need to be
That's
crocheting.
the issue. That
Yeah.
is the issue.
And so it's like, so you know what I thought? I thought, where could I put this if I continued to get it? Where could I put it? And the only place that I can think of is the bathroom.
No.
It's
Well,
like,
yeah.
I mean, this would be great bathroom stuff, you know,
Oh, it's
because
true.
I don't, it's like, I mean, the other thing I thought, well, maybe I should keep it in the car. You know, like if
Mm,
I'm waiting somewhere, but I can't really knit or crochet, then I can take this in with me. And because it really does have a lot of good stuff. I mean,
it does.
and here's the thing that I would also say too. I love to crochet, but it's not my main thing. I do it to move over and create variety, use different muscles in my hands so that I'm not having issues with tennis elbow and, my
Sure.
arms hurt, using those different muscles helps. But my love is knitting, so I cannot wait to hear about your issues because I'm thinking that I want to change and not get the Crochet Nation. I want to get the Knit Nation because I'm
You
thinking that there'll be
should. Yeah,
more
change
things in
over.
there
Hmm.
that I would love. I wanted to do this so that we could both decide, be able to tell about both. But I'm not as interested in the patterns that they put in here as
Hmm.
I think I would be with knitting because that's what I mainly do. So tell us about the knit one because I'm real
Well,
interested
save
in
those.
that.
Sarah would love seeing them
Oh, I'm
probably.
going to save them because there's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of good things. In fact, I'm going to do all those word searches. And so there's a lot of things I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But, I think that I would enjoy when it comes to patterns and things that they have like that for actual knitters. I think I would
Hmm.
enjoy that
Hmm.
paper. So I think I want to try. I may
Sure.
decide that I don't need either one, but I
Right.
think I want to try. So what do you think about the knit one?
Well, I have to say, when I got the very first one, I was very, very excited, but I was making dinner, and actually Sarah was here, and she was like, "Ooh, ah," and she was doing the crossword puzzle. And the problem with the papers are what you already said. I don't take the time to read them like I should. In fact, I'm going to just confess, I read the first two when they came, and I didn't even read them completely. I scanned them, and the other three I didn't even look at until Sunday. So it's time management. I have limited amount of time to knit. I predominantly only knit in the evening.
Yeah.
And so when my day is done and I have all my work done, then my reward is I get to knit. And I really
Yeah.
am really selfish about it. I don't want to read a magazine about it. I want to knit, which is why YouTube channels work really well for me because I can listen
Right.
while I'm doing my knitting. But actually, my first thought was originally, I don't think I'm going to continue getting it, but I think I've already changed my mind. As I was preparing just this morning in more depth, I thought, this is really well done. It is very well done. And
It is
really,
very well done.
their intention is to get you off of your devices, to kind of go back to an old
Right.
nostalgic time of looking at things in papers. Now, I will say this one thing. I wish it was a magazine instead. I don't like the shape of the paper. I don't like the height of the paper. I don't like holding a paper. I know that sounds weird, but it's not my thing. Now, if it was a
Yeah, I
magazine,
agree. I
you
think I
know,
would enjoy it better if it was like more in book form.
yeah, a magazine would be great for me. It could anyway, but that's just something extremely minor. But the knitting papers have all the same things that the crochet, but then they pertain to knitting. So they have the puzzles and the ongoing stories and all that kind of thing.
Do they
Um,
have dear Grandma
uh-huh,
Angie?
uh-huh.
Is it
And
the
I
same
really thought,
name?
yeah,
Is the
and
same name?
uh-huh. And I really thought we should use those questions on our episodes and get our
Yeah.
answers. because
Yeah.
those are the types of things sometimes people actually ask. But and most of them I think are just to be funny and fun. But so yeah, they actually have a surprising amount of patterns, knitting patterns in there, and
Yeah,
that is
they
nice. And
do.
they give the full, the
A
full
full
pattern.
pattern.
I haven't taken the time to find out if these patterns are in other places or are these made just for the newspaper. I don't know. Um, so that's kind of interesting. But um, I did find a few products. Well, actually, just one mainly that I'm interested in. The other one was way too expensive. It was a project bag. It was a tote. It was leather,
Oh,
and of course, so that was. But there is one thing, and some of you guys might have this already. It's called the Lemonwood Mini Winder and Stand,
oh.
and I'm really intrigued by it. I know there's a lot of different versions of the hanging winders and stands. The bowls I wreck them. I break them because what happens is the yarn is sitting in the bowl and then I pull and one tug it goes off the table and it's
Yeah.
broken. So bowls don't work well for me. So mine sit in my, of course, in my bag. But I kind of found the winder interesting, or is it called a winder? No, I think I'm saying the wrong thing. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting for holding the yarn. And of course, they always talk about new fibers, new sheep that they're finding and just new animals in general that they're using to find, wool to make yarn with. And that's kind of interesting because I like animals. So that's always fascinating. They don't really talk about any craft trends, which is interesting. Although I have noticed, of course, I'm on Instagram. Instagram is the social media page that I'm on the most. And everything in my page predominantly is health, yarn, and camping, and mostly yarn. It's just blown up with yarn. In fact, it's kind of funny. Sarah has been off of social media for a long time, but she got back on Instagram just to look at yarn.
Oh, did
She's got
she?
it bad. Yeah, she does. So, and but what I noticed was the things they had in the paper, like even the little stoppers, the little yaks have been real popular. Or no, they're Highland cows. Highland cows. Well, that was in there. So I don't know how that works. If somebody's seeing the paper first and quick puts up all this stuff that they know people are looking
Mhm.
at, but I haven't really discovered too much new because again, I am on the Instagram, and I think this paper, their whole goal was to get the news out to people who is not on social media. So I'm
Mhm.
cheating. I'm already on social media, so I'm finding out all this good stuff. Um, they don't yet do seasonal patterns, which is a little disappointing, but of course, the holidays are coming, fall is coming, and I'm really hoping. So I'm going to continue with this through December and hope they have some seasonal things. I think that'd be really fun. But I did learn some very interesting, weird facts. And I'm just going to kind of go over some of these. Number one, and I think we knew this already, but the first knitters were men. And
Yeah.
I guess in the industrial age, then they were busy working and they no longer could knit, so the women took over. I am going to show this. I'm going to do a little
Well, and
pause
the
here.
meals kicked in, so you had your meals that were
The
doing
mills.
all of the, yeah, and so then men didn't have to knit anymore, and then it became a hobby for women, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Um, but this was an interesting article. The oldest known knitted object was found in Egypt, and they were socks. And look at these
How
wacky
about
socks.
that?
They're just two sections for the big toe and then a place for all the four other toes. I'm hoping they all had five toes, but I'm assuming the other four, like mittens. They're really like they're foot mittens of sorts. But I thought
Well,
that was
and
really
maybe it's
fascinating.
because, well, they're showing it up there to wear with
Oh
uh,
yeah, of
flip flops.
course.
So I guess it was based on the
Say
kind
they're
of shoes that they
sandals.
were wearing with the socks.
But of
That's
course, there you
interesting.
go. Great insight. You are so right. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. I thought, wow, they found socks. And of course they were still intact, which is amazing. Um,
Wow.
Then I also learned that odd facts that during World War II, spies used knitwear to send messages with different stitches meaning different
Yes.
things. Did you
Yeah.
know that? You knew
Yeah, I
that?
did. Yeah, and in fact, the Crochet Nation, the story that is being told, it's a continuing story.
Mm-hmm.
It is about messages being put in the way that the crochet stitches are being crocheted, that there's messages in the crochet stitches. So yeah, but yeah, they did. They did that in wartime.
I did not know that. That's what
Yeah.
that was wild to me. There was one really good article about fiber behavior, and it really answered some questions I have about blocking. And the one thing is they said, I mean, because blocking baffles me still. And why it baffles me is I don't know why some of the things I block don't hold the shape. And I guess that's why I wonder if I'm doing it wrong sometimes. Now the iron is kind of,
Well,
changing that. So
when it's 100% wool, it usually does. When it's
does
100%
what?
holds its shape. If it's
Okay.
100% wool, it does. But when you
Hmm.
start adding in plant fiber or a man-made
Yep.
fiber, a lot of
Right.
times it will not as much hold it. Like
Right.
if you've got nylon in there, you've got acrylic, and that's why
Yeah.
the steaming does so much better. You kind of have to like kill the stitches a little bit, and once you've kind of killed them,
Mm.
they can't bounce back. So acrylic baby blankets,
Hmm.
I always steam them because they actually can be bigger. When you're blocking wool, you can stretch it and pull it into blocking and make it bigger, and it kind of stays that way. But if you're doing that with acrylic and pull it in a wet block, it just goes back. But
Oh,
if you
right.
steam it, then
Right.
you're killing
The
those
heat.
stitches to where it can't go back. And a lot of people will say, well, you can't steam or you can't heat acrylic because it'll melt it, and it does if you put the hot plate of the iron on there. But the
Sure.
steamer that we use, the Euro, it's the EURO
Hmm.
steamer,
Yeah.
and then there's
Yep.
a link at our website. If you go to our website and
It's
go to
wonderful.
tools, you will be able to
Hmm.
find the iron that we use. That iron, it looks like an iron, but the plate never gets hot. You can lay that iron down on top of acrylic, it will never burn it. You can lay it on
Right.
silk, you can lay it on
Yeah.
cashmere, you can
It's
lay it on
been a game
anything.
changer.
It has been
Yeah.
unbelievable. So if you do a lot of acrylic crocheting or knitting, then you have to have that. I mean, it's just
Oh, I
it's a
agree.
game
It's
changer when
really
it
the
comes
way
to
I
blocking.
block now. I don't soak anything. Nothing gets a bath in my world, but I'm not saying it never will. But so the fiber thing, they said, yes, wool has memory, acrylic has amnesia, and plant fiber and, and plant fibers are somewhere in
In
between,
between, that's
depending
right.
on how they're spun. And now I understand why
Yeah.
Knit Picks Lindy Chains, cotton and linen, has that chain, because when you make that chain, that's going to keep memory, so it's good for blocking.
So
It's
the iron gives memory back to the acrylic. It takes away the dementia.
the amnesia. Yeah.
It takes it
Yeah, it won't
away.
forget.
It takes it
Yeah.
away.
So I'm actually probably going to reblock, as I pull them out, this fall, some of my shawls that I'm not happy with. And I'm going to reblock them with the steam. And the other thing for blocking for me was it just took so long to dry.
Yeah, it
And I don't
does.
really, I don't like that. So the steam is just a great thing. But anyway,
I think with
and
100% wool things that you probably will be more satisfied with the way it turns out to do traditional
mhm.
blocking for
Oh,
100%
really?
wool. I
Oh,
think
really?
so because well it's I've made the shawls that I made for Mary Catherine and Colleen, they were 100% wool. Had some
Right.
cashmere, some silk in it, but those shawls have kept their shapes beautifully,
Mm-hmm.
and the steaming too, when you're doing like lace knitting, you don't want to kill those stitches. You want those stitches to stay beautiful and bouncy looking, but they're
Right.
gonna hold the memory when they're 100% fiber.
Right.
Um, I I I just give up the bouncy looking stitch when I'm having to block something that I know is going to go back to what it was. It's like I have to
Right.
decide which one am I willing to give up. And so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I personally take the time to block something that is 100% of real fiber, an animal fiber, basically wool,
Right.
because I'm happiest with it if I go through that. But the other, I cheat. I don't guess, maybe you don't call it cheat, but I feel like I'm cheating.
Yeah.
But I
It's
like to
much
cheat with the
faster.
other ones. It's faster. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing I just lost my thought. It was about, wait a minute, I can edit this out. We were talking about blocking, nitpicks. Ooh, don't know. It's
Fiber,
okay. Hmm,
wool.
it's okay. I lost
You'll
it. It's okay.
remember. It'll
Yeah,
come
I'll
to
remember it eventually. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was, oh, I know what it was. I learned another thing, and that was we've been thinking about wool in summer wrong. This was a little surprising to me, and that is, cotton is great because it's porous and it absorbs, but it absorbs and then stays wet, where wool wicks away from the skin
yeah.
and releases. And so there is a case to be made, and I think I need to try that next summer to make, wool tea
Yeah.
for summer and see what happens, because they talked about this is why sheep, even though they get sheared, I mean, they shear them when it's still very cold. It's like already, it's still like February, March, and by the time July comes, they've got a lot of fiber hanging
Mm-hmm.
off their body, yet they stay cool. So I was kind of interested in that, and I thought that was a
Mm-hmm.
fascinating
That is
thing. So,
interesting.
so I think what I need to do to give this whole paper a truly fair chance is the day it comes, or set aside a day and just read it. There's a lot in there. It will take you a good part of a whole morning or whole afternoon.
Just
Seriously.
put it in your bathroom.
Yeah, well, all right. I mean, it's funny. It's like, people used to open the newspaper and, and read it while they eat breakfast and drink their coffee,
Yeah.
and now everybody's on their phones. And I just need to
Yeah.
bring that out instead. But honestly, I don't even do that in the morning. I sit on the porch and I knit with my coffee.
I
So
know. I do too. I knit, and
the
my
only thing I
main
really
knitting.
read is my Bible. It's the
I
only book that's
know.
getting read these days because I have
I
so much to
know.
knit, but it's the most important
And I
one. So,
have started listening. I have started
oh,
listening.
yeah.
So if there were an audio edition of this
Ooh.
paper that we could listen to everything that's in the paper, that would be fun. So
Oh,
maybe
there you
that's an
go.
idea to throw out there to because I can listen while I'm knitting or crocheting, but and there's some people that read while they do that. I've seen them that they have the
I
books in, and I
know.
can't do that. I can't do it. That's too much
No,
multitasking for me.
no.
But
Yeah. I mean, even though I can knit without looking, if I go back and forth to the book, to the
I,
project, I'm gonna
yeah,
lose where I am in the book. I mean, you always know where your
me
knitting
too.
project is, but the book, no, I
Yeah,
don't
me
know.
too.
That's so
That's not
crazy.
for me.
Well, you mentioned about kind of knitting, and it seems from the community responses that knitting in church is acceptable. I love that. It's so funny. And honestly, we did not talk about that topic before Sarah, Susie, and I were together. Yet all three of us said we listen better when our hands are
I
busy, when
do.
we're knitting.
I do.
And I mean, especially if you're, I mean, you want a social knit. You want to be able to knit something where don't have to look at a pattern all the time. That's a
Right.
given. Your pot holders would be great.
I think we need to just do a bring back knitting and crocheting in church campaign or something.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wouldn't that be
It's
something?
like, oh
Start it.
no.
Yeah, I do.
I think it's
I
because of
focus
the
well.
age of short attention spans. We
Well,
really do have less long. Our attention spans keep getting shorter and shorter because we're conditioned to everything happening fast.
well,
And
and I think for people who are, I don't want to say ADD, but where their minds go a lot of different, where you multi-think, you're thinking
yeah,
about a lot of things. When you're knitting and then listening, you're done.
you're
Like that
done.
severs all that mind wandering thing where my
Yeah,
mind
it
wanders too much.
does.
But yeah,
It
I
does.
love it. So
We need to
anyway,
bring it back.
yeah,
We need to
we
bring
do.
back or start it.
So
Maybe we need to start it. I don't know.
yeah, start it. And then Wild Knit Diva responded about the bottle opener, what it's for, and I kind of laughed because, as I had said, I grew up in Milwaukee, and beer is everywhere, and I really kind of think those openers were kind of my teething tool. Yeah, there was a lot of different uses for them, but
Oh man.
currently, but there still are cans you have to open, like tomato
Yeah.
juice cans.
Yeah.
I don't really use the like
Somebody,
evaporated milk, all those
somebody,
things.
yeah, the evaporated milk that somebody mentioned that, and I thought, you know what? It's been a long time since I put evaporated milk into my coffee, but my father used to do that, and it was the only thing he would put in coffee, and it really is good. Evaporated milk in
Really,
coffee is
I don't even
very
know really what
good.
it tastes like, to be real honest.
It's
And the only
it's a
time I
it's
ever
a it's a thicker cream kind of,
is
but
it.
yeah, he used to put it in his coffee all the time. It was delicious.
I,
And
I think
when
I
I
only use it
read
for
that, I
pumpkin
thought,
pie.
I know, well, when I read that, I thought, man, it's been a long time since I've had evaporated milk in my coffee, but it's really
Well,
good.
and it was the shelf stable way to store milk. I mean,
Yeah,
we know if you're a canner and if you're a Rebel canner, you can can milk. You can.
yeah.
I mean, if they do it at the store, you can do it. So that's my take on it. But that was the way you could stock up on milk and have it on the shelf for whatever needs. So, I mean, there's nothing worse than which never happens to me because I drink cream in my coffee, and it's like cream. I always have two extra ones because I never want to run
I
out.
know.
It's too important to me. But there's nothing worse than, if you want to make something that needs a little milk and then you don't have any.
But
And
you know
half the
what? That
time,
might be, I've not ever thought about it, but like when you travel and
oh,
you're trying to have a healthier creamer, like in your hotel room or whatever, and you've got one of those little refrigerators, you could pack a can of evaporated milk and one of those little openers,
unless I think, yeah,
and
unless you fly and they think
you
it's
would
a
have
weapon.
a healthier creamer, than what's probably at the hotel, or you could just carry it with you, and it can pack easy. So
Yep,
evaporated milk for the trips.
yep. And let's see, what other community responses do we have, Susie?
Let's see. Uh,
The needles.
well, and Care Bear fixed her comment, so that's awesome. I'm
Yeah, I'm
glad
so
that you did
glad.
that. And people have been liking the needles. We've gotten some good responses on
I
that.
know, isn't that something?
And
That it
so
really is
just
the deal of the
it is, if they're still
summer.
available, go to our website and you can find the link for those needles, and you're getting a wonderful set of interchangeable needles for $30. You can't beat it.
29.99.
29
Yeah.
something, yeah. And if you're a Prime member, you don't have shipping added to that. So, yeah.
Right. And thank you,
Uh,
Heather, for the crocheted, reversible crocheted hat pattern that Sarah requested. We knew you'd come through, and thank you. I'm so glad you're part of the community because
And Heather,
you
I just want to reiterate the blanket that you sent us and that we showcased last episode is a piece of artwork. It is
it
absolutely
is.
beautiful. I loved it. I've got kits to crochet blankets that have all kinds of different squares that I've never done. And when I looked at your blanket, it made me think, man, I need to pull those kits out. That is just, and yours probably wasn't a kit, but I've got kits that help me cheat to do stuff like that. It was just absolutely beautiful. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
wow. It was. So thank you. And we didn't get any submissions for our spotlight. So if you have any wearables, whether or blankets that you have knit or crocheted, please send them in to the email address down below, and we would love to show them off to
And
everybody.
leaf
So,
garlands. We're
oh
asking
yeah, the
people
leaf
to send,
garlands.
yeah, if you're doing a leaf
Yeah.
garland for the fall for your fireplace, send them to us. We'd love to see them. There's so many
Yes.
different patterns, to do that with. In fact, this week I saw Barrett Wool has got a beautiful, if you go over there to their website, Barrett Wool, they have got beautiful fall garland that has acorns and pine cones and pumpkins and leaves. It is absolutely beautiful. So you can put
Oh,
more than leaves on your garland. You can put other things too. And I think it's also a Ravelry pattern that you can get too that they have there on their website. So yeah, make those beautiful fall garlands and
yeah,
share
we'd
them.
love to see them. Ah, so I guess with that, I think, are we done here?
I think my mind is empty.
But your hands are full, right?
My hands are
Well,
full.
good. Good. I know. I
Uh,
need to. I get to put the sleeve on my sweater, and I'm excited to get that done. And so maybe it'll be done by the next time we get together. That'd be fun. So, anyway, well, with that, I guess we'll just say goodbye and thank you for watching and being part of our yarn circle. We really appreciate you, and have a great week or two, and happy knitting. Bye bye.
Bye.